Hey everyone, it's Corey with Reel Filmmaking, and today we're talking about what happens when your film fails. So let's wind the clock back a few years. I'm in the midst of working on this big short film project. I am directing it, I've co-written the script, and I have some stakeholders who are investing different resources in the film, and it's really exciting. It's one of the first times I've really gotten to work with a bigger team, with a crew, hire talent, hire a DP. It's like all this stuff that I'm so excited about, you know. I've been doing video production up until this point for like 3 to 4 years, doing other stuff, shooting like really small, like more micro short films on the side, some to varying degrees of quality. But I was really excited to get this opportunity. I'm walking through this whole process, I'm loving it, you know, location scouting, like auditioning talent, doing all this stuff, and we finally come to the shoot days. The shoot days happen and they're great. They're long days, but they're great. We get some awesome stuff. I'm super excited that this story is coming to life that like I've envisioned, and you know, this has all happened over the course of like 6 months to a year, like all the different things that you have to go through. So we wrap on it. I'm taking it into the editing room. We're thinking through how we're gonna roll out the marketing. The actors are excited to see like, oh, this is gonna come out and we're gonna like promote it to our fan base, all this stuff. So I remember I send the film off to be colored. You know, they said it's gonna take a few weeks to do that. I'm in the midst of trying to get all my other ducks in a row, and we finally get the film back. We have it picture locked, it's colored. It looks like it is done now. We've got a final version, and so we're ready to start going like, what are we doing with it? Like film festivals, like the stakeholders want to use it in these different capacities for this organization. This is gonna be awesome. And then just one day, we get an email and we hit a brick wall, and they say, hey, this is great. Love what you've done, but we're not gonna use the film anymore. Taking a different direction to this. Thanks for your hard work. And that's it. And so in the matter of an email and then like a subsequent phone call, I found out that this big project that I've been working on for 1.5 years has just evaporated before my eyes. Yeah, so that felt like a gut punch. And I tell this story not so you can feel bad for me or feel sympathy for me, but to just share this experience that I'm talking about, that we all as filmmakers experience failure. Looking around the filmmaking, YouTube video making community, this is a topic that I don't see addressed a ton. I feel like in any creative profession, you are going to walk through seasons of failure, or a project doesn't go the way that you expect. And I think it is healthy to be able to talk about that and like what that means. Whether that is things that we do, you know, ourselves internally that bring about failure, like, you know, make wrong decisions or don't handle things well, or forgot to shoot this scene and didn't work out, or a failure is delivered to us through external means by, you know, maybe your investors like pulling out your film, or in this case, the stakeholders saying, we're going in a different direction, so we're just gonna shelve this film and like you can't really use it for anything. We all walk through failure, and you know, this is an example of some failure that I had to walk through, but there's been plenty of other times where I've messed things up of, you know, my poor planning or poor decision making and different things. And I think one of the big reasons that filmmakers and people on YouTube, why people shy away from talking about failure, is because I think it's hard. Like, failure sucks. And it's hard to get vulnerable about that. Everyone wants to put their best foot forward, make everything look shiny and new, and failure, it just sucks. Like, it's not fun. It can be so easy to look at someone and be like, man, like their films are great, or all the videos on their YouTube channel are great, and you don't see the behind the scenes. For every great YouTube video they have, they maybe have like 5 or 6 failed videos. Or, you know, this filmmaker that you like, oh, that short film is amazing. For that one short film, maybe they had like 3 or 4 short films that just tanked and they were horrible, or they fell apart, or like films they didn't even finish. I think normalizing this idea of failure that we all walk through is super important for us as filmmakers, but then just also as people. There's so much that you learn from walking through failure. And I know that sounds really cliche, you know, like people say failure makes you better, it makes you stronger, you know, what only kills you makes you stronger, right? A wise person said that once. The truth is, I think when you're able to really stop and process why the failure happened, but then also more than that, just what can I take away from this experience? from this failure, quote unquote, and how can I take that to my next project or take that forward with me in my filmmaking journey. I think that's where the strength of failure comes into play. Because like I've said, failure sucks. No one wants to fail. No one wants a project to fall apart. Like, I totally get that. Did I want that short film to fall apart and like me not be able to use it? No, but there's so many things as I've processed after that short film that failure can't take away from me. The experience I got working with other people, the networking, the connections that I built, the experience of like writing a script, of directing people, helping to steer a vision through a project. Failure can't take that away from me. And failure is a really good teacher in the sense that the next time that I come up against some of these obstacles, I'm more aware of the pitfalls that could befall me. Be like, okay, I'm not gonna do that, or that because I've already made those mistakes. Does that mean I'm immune from failure? No. You know, when I've watched interviews with some of my favorite directors and filmmakers, they've talked about they've had films where they've royally screwed things up or just like completely tanked them. They took those things that happened from those projects that failed and applied them to their next film, and then their next film was like a complete 180, one of their best pieces of work in their catalog. And I think that's just such proof that talking about failure, understanding failure, how it can shape us is such a powerful tool. So you might be someone who is currently experiencing failure. Maybe you're walking through a failed project, a film right now. And I just want to say that I see you. I know that really sucks. I hope this video can be an encouragement. I hope it can provide a level of like catharsis. I hope you see and hear that you are not alone. It's not just you who have failed, and you know, the veneer of social media and YouTube and all this pristine stuff would have you think that no one else fails, but really, we all fail, and more people just don't talk about it. And so that's why I wanted to make this video. I wanted you to feel encouraged. I want to normalize this idea that we all go through failure, and just share that failure is a thing, it happens, but it's not the end of us, it's not the end of your filmmaking journey. And I think when you're able to process that and realize that, there's so much strength that you can gain from understanding failure and the things that help you to grow just as a filmmaker, but then just also as a person. I hope this video was encouraging, hope it was helpful. I know it's a little bit different than what I normally do for Reel Filmmaking, but it felt appropriate, and you know, it's just something that has been on my heart for a while to share with all of you. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear in the comments, like, if you have had a failed film or you're walking through, you know, a failure in one of your film projects. I'd love if you're willing to, I know it's pretty vulnerable, but share down in the comments with us encouragement you found from processing through that, or what you learned from it, and just help other people here in the community to understand that they're not alone. Failure hits all of us, but we can get up and we can keep walking and we can keep growing, and we're gonna be stronger because of it. So if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up. Until next time, keep making movies and watching movies, and I'll see you on Reel Filmmaking.